Hello, before we begin, two little disclaimers. First of all, as you can see, English is not my mother language, so pardon the mispronunciations of some of the words, and please bear with me that this is a full English speaking guide, so you will have no problem reading through it. And the second disclaimer is that anyone can see this video, players and Dungeon Master alike. I took a lot of care of not putting any spoilers on it, so please enjoy and thanks. Hello, my name is Victor San Gabriel, and today I'm going to show you what this guide is about, what players know Rime of the Frostmaiden Edition, why I created it, and how to use it. Rime of the Frostmaiden is a massive adventure. 320 pages, 3 main storylines, many subplots, and more than 30 quests. There is no way for you to remember what players know and who told them what. Unless you spend more than 50 hours reading and cataloging the whole book, you will likely run into one of the following scenarios. 1. Missed plots. There are a lot of cool plots that has nothing to do with the main story, like the Goblin Lair quest or the Black Cabin quest. But they have important information that will pay off many months in the future, and you will be glad your players did not miss them. 2. Information dump. You miss to tell your players some information of a specific topic, so when the time comes to reveal that plot, you will need an NPC to make an information dump. Nothing more anticlimactic. 3. Too much too early. You reveal information too soon, and as a consequence, you send your players to a quest much more advanced to their level, risking a total party kill. 4. Eureka moments. One of the most satisfying moments a Dungeon Master can have is when their players put together pieces of a plot that you have been feeding them bit by bit for many sessions. This is the main reason I created this guide, so that you can treat every plot as a piece of a puzzle, and when the moment comes, players put together all breadcrumbs you have been feeding them and have the satisfaction of an eureka moment when everything falls into place. This guide will help you to know what to tell your players, who should tell them, and the most important part, when to tell them. There is no homebrew content in this guide. Everything here comes from the official Rime of the Frostmaiden book. I read all the book, sorted all the information in plots and subplots, and finally divided them in 4 easy-to-use tables that you will use depending on the moment your players need to know what piece of information. Every item on this guide comes with a checkbox so that you can keep track of what pieces of information you have given them. Table 1. Just tell your players. This is general information about 10 towns that will help you set up the atmosphere and show your players they are in an old place with real people living in centuries-old settlements. In the tables, you will see information about each town that you just need to tell your players when they are arriving there. For example, let's see. Your players are arriving to Lonelywood, so you go to the proper place in Table 1 and read Lonelywood. Founded by Sembian family, Lonelywood is a quiet town of loggers, fishers, and scrimshanders, crouching out a living on the edge of the world.
The town oldest buildings and docks bear carvings of dragons, lions, and goats that pay deference to the family crest,
which featured a chimera. So now, whenever they arrive into a town, you just tell them that information that they should know in advance. You don't need to role-playing, and it will make your life easier. Table 2. Breadcrumbs. These are rumors and tales local folks talk about. Every time your players interact with one NPC, a boy selling news for coin, a bard telling tales, a pair of halflings talking on the local tavern, or a traveler they find on the road, roll a percentile dice. Find the results on the table so you know what they are talking about and role play it with your players. Let me take my percentile dice, for example, and I roll 46. So I go to my table 2 breadcrumbs and I try to find the 46 item. 46. It tells about Targos. So here it says, Auril's long winter has frozen the water in the harbor, and many of Targos' boats are trapped in the ice. Fishers must drag their smaller vessels across the ice to get to the unfrozen lake beyond the harbor walls. So this is a piece of information that maybe when they are traveling on the road, they find a fisherman that is looking to change city because fishing is going difficult in Targos. So now you give them a piece of information about Targos without bloating with NPCs giving exposition. Let me roll again to give you another example. 83. So I go to the 83 entry and it says, Beline Harpel, one of the members of the Arcane Brotherhood. Her familiar is a snowy owl. She hired the services of 6 Icewind kobolds that act as her valets and guides. 2 were killed by Nas Lantomir, but Beline animated their corpses, turning them into zombies. So now your players are on a local tavern and they find 2 halflings talking about the mysterious person that has frequented that tavern the nights before, the one with the mysterious kobolds and this snowy owl and whatever you want to do to role play it. So you have put a seed of information about an Arcane Brotherhood member without giving anything else. So the payoff will be big when they find out about everything the Arcane Brotherhood is up to. Table 3, Inquest. To find out about the information in this table, your players need to take a specific quest. Nobody else knows about the items in this table, and they have no way of finding out unless they take that specific quest. This will allow you to railroad your players if you want them to know about some specific plot or know in advance what they will find before taking the quest. Example, the Duergar plot. These are all the quests your players need to take in order to solve the Duergar mystery of Chapter 3. So, in order to make all the progress they need to do, they have to make in Chapter 1 the Black Sword quest, they have to take the Unseen quest, they have to take the Toil and Trouble and Town Hall Capers quest, and they have to go to the East Heaven Ferry. Table 4. Players will find out no matter what they do. And at last, the 4th table is information players will find about from Chapter 3 and forward. The adventure turns a little railroady from here, so they will find about this information just by playing. And when the moment comes, you will find in the Rime of the Frostmaiden book the who, where, and when to tell them. I added this table so that you know in advance what pieces of information you don't have to worry about and focus on running an epic adventure. For example, returning to the Duergar plot from the previous table. There is a motive for Duergars to be doing whatever they are doing that involves Deep Duerra and Asmodeus, both are gods. As you can read in Table 4, don't worry about how to tell your players about this. In Chapter 3, they will find a book that belongs to a character named Clondorn that will tell your players everything about this piece of plot. Also, in page 16 of this guide, you will find a table where you can put together everything your players know about, the main plots, so you can know in a glance on which subjects you need to feed them more information and when. I took a lot of time designing each page of this guide so that it will look great with all your other D&D materials, so you can be sure you are paying for amazing content enclosed in a beautiful, beautiful package. If you are a DM running Rime of the Frostmaiden, treat yourself with a guide that will help you get the most out of this massive adventure. If you are a player, believe me, your Dungeon Master will love you if you send him this guide as a gift. Please subscribe, like, and comment on this video, and I will send you a 10% discount coupon. Thanks a lot, and see you soon.